When we talk about education, many people think only about classrooms, textbooks, exams, or teachers standing in front of a board. But education is much more than that. To really understand it, we have to ask deeper questions like, why do we even educate? What should education achieve? How should teaching and learning happen? These are the kinds of questions answered by the philosophy of education. So, let's start with the definition. Educational philosophy is simply the way we think about education, its purpose, its meaning, and its methods. It's like asking, what's the big picture behind schooling? For example, Plato believed education was about discovering truth and building character. John Dewey, on the other hand, said education should prepare people for real life and democratic living. In other words, educational philosophy is about finding the why behind teaching and learning. Now, let's talk about the scope of educational philosophy, what it actually covers. And here, it touches almost every part of education. First, it deals with the aims of education. Do we want to raise responsible citizens? Do we want to help students grow as individuals? Do we want them to contribute to society? Philosophy helps us set those goals. Second, it guides the curriculum. What should be taught in schools? Is it only math and science, or should values, arts, and life skills also be included? Educational philosophy helps decide. Third, it shapes teaching methods. Should a teacher just lecture, or should students explore, ask questions, and learn by doing? Again, philosophy gives direction. Fourth, it defines the role of the teacher. Is the teacher a strict authority, or more of a guide and mentor? Different philosophies answer this differently. And fifth, it explains the role of the learner. Are students empty vessels waiting to be filled with knowledge, or are they active participants in their own learning journey? So, the scope of educational philosophy is very wide. It covers aims, curriculum, teaching, the teacher, the learner, and even values and discipline in education. At the end of the day, philosophy of education is like a compass. Without it, education would have no clear direction. With it, teachers know why they teach, students understand why they learn, and societies can shape education to build a better future. So, when we study the definition and scope of educational philosophy, we are not just learning theory, we are learning how education can truly change lives.